Hello friends and families, it's been quite a while since the last keyboard video, but here I am and I'm bringing you something with a little bit of local twist. But today's ain't gonna be a full-on keyboard review, but rather a switch. And this is a switch made by a Malaysian designer and it's called TDX Studios. And here we have its latest release, the TDX Studios Jetliner switch. To be more specific, the Jetliner is actually a series whereby the designer created this switch as well as a series of desk mats of various sizes so that you can have a fully decked out red, black, grey, white setup mix. And since it's like themed around airplanes and with that color scheme, I don't blame you if you have the idea of like AirAsia briefly pop up in your head, because me too. But anyway, let's find out what the Jetliner switch is all about, but first let us quickly head to the desk mat first. So we have two designs here, and first it looks like this, and it has this kind of like a topologic kind of diagram where it says like Jetliner, and it has like a airplane design like from the top, side and front designs, and you have the logo here. And we have another one which is the gray color mat, and it's much more simpler. That looks like this. Okay, so they definitely aim the quality as opposed to their prototype in terms of like the surface, like the texture, and the printing is kind of good, especially if you're looking at the black one, which we have like kind of the monochrome color overlapping over here, but you can clearly see that this is like the black background, and you have a little bit of like gray stripes here. Yeah, everything seems to be printed with high quality. And of course you can wash them, and they have 4 sizes, 9 designs, and they are only around like starting from 40 ringgit ish and going up to like 80. And yeah, if you're interested, you can pick this up later. So to start, you get this colorfully designed box if you decided to get it as a 35 unit purchase. And sticking to the theme, it's red, and you have this like TDX logo cut out on the front so you can look at the switches inside without opening it. And it looks like this when you unpack it. And on the back side, you get like the full set of information about it, which is like extremely helpful for those who have been dabbling in the mechanical keyboard scene for some time. And yes, this switch comes in 2 different weights, which you can see here. Like there's like 43 and 50 grams, and the seller kindly labeled it for our convenience. And they are both linear, so no tactile as of now. And this is manufactured by B-Sun as labeled here, which they have a good track record of producing switches with like nice tolerances and great factory lubing. The materials used for this switch, they have like the modified PC top housing, PA66 plus 25% fiberglass for the bottom housing, and they have a modified palm for the stem. So yeah, definitely not like your run-of-the-mill switches. This combo usually makes a clacky and poppy sound signature most of the time, but of course it depends on your keyboard kit as a whole, whether you are using foam and where's like a different use of like the gasket mount, and you know like there's like a PCB mount, plate mount, pour-on gasket mount, like silicone mount, yeah, all those sort of things. Oh, also I do appreciate they use the long spring, which is like 22 millimeters as they stated here, and in this case, this allows it to have a very snappy return, and for a fast typist like me, I can't really go big to anything below 20 millimeters, so to speak. Yeah, so I'll definitely like this. Well then, let us go to the sound test, and we have prepared different switches for comparison as well as different keyboards from aluminum and plastic with their respective build info on the screen, so you can replicate it if you decided you wanted a certain sound profile. So let's do this. So, which one catches your attention the most? For me, the clacky zuoya build, which is this one, is my favorite, as it fully accentuates that switch material on the PC plate, bringing out that poppy goodness without relying on like the things like, you know, the PET sheet or even the IXPE foam. Meanwhile, the thock zuoya is pretty standard because it's running full foam PC plate, and it is still as loud as the clacky build, but just like, you know, lots of that marbly sound. Meanwhile, the Zoom 75 Tiga's unique sound signature is contributed by its unique cork material, which means it has a more crispier pop. Plus, when running using that aluminum plate, it provides a slightly thumpier spacebar and a kind of like a vibrating typing experience. Then the Choice 65 is pretty much your run-of-the-mill gasket-mounted board with aluminum plate. It has a loud yet deep clacks. It has like a minimum resonance, even though it doesn't have a case foam, and the spacebar is pretty deep. But also, this is like a ABS spacebar. But of course, when we compare other switches on the Choice 65, it seems that the gateron Oi King, albeit like being very smooth out of the box as it should be, it kind of lacks that poppiness due to the ink bottom housing material, and it is not a long pole switch since it has 4mm of travel. So yeah, it's not really attention grabbing in terms of the sound signature. Whereas the tried and true gateron Milky Yellows brings that spectrum even down further with a slight hint of scratch at that creamy feel due to the upper housing, and the sound is much appreciated by those who want a more chill and slower typing vibe. And yeah, that's pretty much the point of this Jetliner switch, as the typing and sound experience made me wonder if this is manufactured by Gateron at the beginning, as this is quite close to the likes of the Baby Kangaroos and the Jade Pros in terms of, you know, like that mahjong-like sound and also the factory lubing quality. But to sum up everything, the TDX Studios Jetliner switch, as its designer spoke to me, it aims to be a standout alternative between the Gateron Milky Yellow and the Oi King, especially in the price segment where a single switch, as of now, is going to cost you only 80 cents. And if you want something like this from Gateron, it's starting from at least 2 ringgit 80 cents or even 3 to 3 ringgit 50 cents onwards. Therefore, I highly recommend those in Malaysia and Singapore can give this switch a try, as the 80 cents price tag is only for a limited time. So yeah, the entire package of the switch and desk mat is a nice start from TDX Studios. If you want to give them a support, you can find the links down below, and we hope we can see more from them in the future. Peace.